GM, what's good, people? It's currently 5:15 p.m. UK time, Sunday, the 8th of March, 2026. Welcome to, I believe, episode 22 of Mycelink Sundays, which is a free weekly webinar every single Sunday, 5 p.m. UK time. Check your time zones. Everyone is welcome. We cover everything from geopolitics, macroeconomics, the stock market, crypto futures, meme coins, and my wife Halima does a health and wealth meditation, who is Tiger Flow AI, as that is her startup. Mycelink, we are a decentralized ecosystem of like-minded individuals who are interested in the realms of futures technologies, generational wealth, all-round good business. At time of recording, 8th of March 2026, we are not a registered or legal entity and are merely a decentralized ecosystem of homies, though that may change in future. I must iterate that nothing in this video or any other Mycelink content to date, may change in the future, is financial advice. We do not intend to be perceived or received as financial advisors. If you are looking for professional accredited services, we are partnered with some great people in the traditional finance industry, including but not limited to the homie Tariq, who works for Devere Group. So if you're looking for any legal or financial advice, hit us up and we will refer you to somebody within the ecosystem who is accredited. Typically, the structure of this webinar is as following. Krog starts off with geopolitics and news. I do macro and meme coins. Then Halima will do a health and wealth meditation, followed by Cryzo doing futures. However, since it's Krog's last night in Vietnam, he won't be making it today. And because of the time and it being Ramadan, Cryzo, he's not fasting today, will do the future section. And instead of opening up with macro, we're gonna open it up for the first time ever with Halima's health and wealth meditation that will get us in the mood. And then let's see if I have time to do some analysis. And then I might go to Cryzo, doing futures, and I might do analysis again after that. So, Halima, are you ready?
Hello, yes, I'm ready.
Okay, let's go.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome. My name is Halima, and today we're journeying together through a guided meditation for health and wealth. Find a comfortable seated position. Close your eyes. Let your shoulders drop. Relax your jaw and soften every muscle in your face. Release any tension about the markets, money, and what you think you should be doing right now. In this moment, you are exactly where you need to be. Thank you for being here today, and thank you, God, for aligning this sacred gathering. Let's breathe together. Breathe in for 4 seconds. Hold for 4 seconds. And breathe out for 6. Breathe in for 4 seconds. Hold for 4 seconds. And breathe out for 6. Bring your awareness to your body, this vessel that carries every dream you've ever held. Your health is your first wealth. Without it, nothing else matters. Feel your feet rooted to the ground, stable, supported, strong. Notice your heartbeat, steady, alive, and powerful. Before we build empires, we must first honor the foundation. This is habit 1, be proactive. You are not a passenger in your life, you are the architect. You choose to be here today, you choose growth, you choose yourself. And this is habit 2, begin with the end in mind. See the legacy you are building. It's not just numbers on a screen, it's generational freedom. A family tree that never knows scarcity. When your body is well, your mind becomes clear. And when your mind is clear, you make powerful, aligned choices. Breathe in for 4 seconds. Hold for 4 seconds. And breathe out for 6. Now, I want you to picture yourself something.
Hello, I want to show you something, guys.
Now, I want you to picture something magnificent.
The name.
Sorry, silence. Sorry.
Apologies, my dad was just here. Now, I want you to picture something magnificent. You are walking through a grand double door of a palace that belongs to you. The floors are polished marble, white and gold, gleaming beneath your feet. Towering columns line each side, draped in emerald silk. The ceiling soars above you, painted with constellations, a universe that was made for you. At the center of this palace is a magnificent throne room, and in the middle, a table carved from obsidian inlaid with gold. On this table sits everything you have been building. A glowing portfolio of Bitcoin and Ethereum, pulsing with golden light. Stacks of dividend-paying stocks, solid as the marble beneath your feet. Property deeds, business plans, trust funds bearing your family's names. This is not a fantasy. This is habit 3, put first things first. You are here today because you prioritized what matters. You invested before you spent, and you built before you broadcasted. Walk to the throne at the head of this room, sit down, feel the weight of your own authority. From this seat, you oversee every investment, every strategic move, and you are the CEO of your wealth, the guardian of your bloodline's future. Look to the left. A window reveals a vast estate, rolling green hills, a home filled with laughter. Children and grandchildren who will never wonder where their next meal comes from because of the decisions you are making right now. This is your legacy. You built this. Breathe in for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4 seconds. And breathe out for 6. Place your hand on your heart. Feel its rhythm. This is habit 7, sharpen the saw. The commitment to renew yourself in body, mind, and spirit so you can lead at the highest level. Say these words. Say them like they're already true, because they are. I am the best. I can do it alone. Because God is always with me. I am a winner. Today is my day. I am unstoppable. My body is healthy. My mind is focused. My wealth is growing with every wise decision. I make strategic moves for my future bloodline. All is well. Everything is working out for my highest good. Breathe in for 5 seconds. Hold for 3 seconds. And breathe out for 7. Repeat after me. Money flows to me easily and consistently. My health supports my wealth, and my wealth supports my health. I make clear, confident decisions from a place of peace. I am divinely protected in every financial choice. Every move I make builds an unshakable legacy. This is habit 4. Think win-win. Your success does not diminish anyone else's. It actually creates abundance for everyone connected to you. And this is habit 5. Seek first to understand. You listen to the markets, you study before you strike. You move with intelligence, not impulse. Breathe in for 5 seconds. Hold for 3 seconds. And breathe out for 7. See yourself as whole, complete, and powerful. Your physical health, strong, vibrant, and unstoppable. Your mental clarity, sharp, focused, and brilliant. Your financial abundance, flowing, multiplying, and limitless. These are not separate parts of you. They are one unified force. This is habit 6, synergize. When you care for your body, you think with clarity. And when you think with clarity, you invest with wisdom. When you invest with wisdom, you build the life you deserve and the legacy your bloodline will inherit for generations. You are the bridge between past and future, between what was and what will be. With your hand on your heart, feel the truth of these words. Say them after me. I am healthy, I am wealthy, and I'm wise. I am the best version of myself today and every day. This abundance is mine. This clarity is mine. This success is mine. My legacy is secured for my future bloodline. I am blessed, I am grateful, and I am ready. Take one final deep breath. Breathe in for 4 seconds. Hold for 4 seconds. And out for 6. Gently wiggle your fingers and your toes. Roll your shoulders back and feel your strength. When you're ready, slowly open your eyes and notice how you feel. Calm, powerful, aligned, and ready. You are grounded, you are abundant, and you are unstoppable. Welcome back. Let's build this legacy together. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my love.
You're welcome.
Righty. Okay. Right, can everyone hear me loud and clear?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, amazing. Right, so gonna go over an excerpt from Professor Adam as he's done a write-up today, which I think is very good timing. So the biggest piece of news. Oh, forget that. Let's move immediately onto the macro situation. War. A lot of speculation is occurring around the war and a lot of bad information too. What really matters to crypto investors is, does this affect liquidity? The liquidity being money in the system. Liquidity is the number one driver of price. Although there are individual quantitative reasons why things go up and down, the ultimate reason is liquidity. How much money is in the system? We go to tlx.fugisolutions.net. Let's have a look of what is liquid in the Fed right this second. So the more liquidity that's in the system, the more cash that's available. Typically, the better assets do, and the more liquidity that's out the system, typically is when risk assets do worse. Now, we have liquidity has been drained, or American liquidity has been drained out of the market from mid-June all the way to late 2025. We've had a spike, a retracement, and now it seems like we're climbing back up, with the TGA, the savings account, having inverse relationship to this. As you can see here, also the TGA peaked on the 28th of October 2025, around the same time as the liquidity was at its lowest. And even though we've had a pullback here, this pullback is still higher. This pullback at the end of January is still higher than the low of October. And the high here printed in late January is still lower. Again, this has an inverse relationship to liquidity. We want the TGA to go down. It's still lower than this high here. So things are looking good liquidity wise.
Excuse me, could you explain what what you mean by liquidity and what the Treasury General account is and how this correlates to crypto?
Yeah, sure. So again, all liquidity is a fancy word for available money. That's what liquidity is. So these two metrics, this represents how much liquidity is available in the Fed. That's why it's net Fed liquidity. I don't actually understand what these actual calculations are, but basically, as this goes up, it's typically good for risk on assets. The TGA is the savings account of the Fed. So this has an inverse relationship to liquidity. So as you can see, as this rises, for example, here from around mid July, in that time, can you see how the Fed net liquidity decreases, but the TGA increases? Much like it's kind of like, you know, the relationship between DXY and BTC. It's not exact, but it's approximately inverted.
Right. If you don't mind, I could just want to give a bit more clarity to some people.
Yeah, go
So
on.
the Fed liquidity, right? How I perceive it is how much money the say the US government, right, is buying into these sorts of things, and the Treasury General account, that you can consider that like their bank account. That's how much money they have like with them, right? So the more they sell, right, the more they're gonna have in their bank. You know what I mean? But the more they buy, the less they're gonna have in their bank because they've just spent it on these assets. And this liquidity is usually put into assets like Bitcoin and crypto. And consider the US government's liquidity is a lot. It's a lot of money. So it really does affect uh, why crypto and stuff goes up with it. Thank you.
Yes, sir. So back to Professor Adam. A lot of speculation is occurring around the war and a lot of bad information too. What really matters to crypto investors is, does this affect liquidity? We don't, as crypto investors and traders, we want more liquidity in the system, right? No, in the short to medium term, no. It certainly raises inflation expectations, and that could possibly weigh on monetary policy, i.e., interest rates stay high. Just to make everyone understand, interest rates is the rate of um, of well, basically interest on things such as loans, bank loans, credit card repayments, and mortgages in particularly the United States. Interest rates have a inverse relationship mid to long term with risk on assets. So when interest rates are high, so let's say it's 10% to pay back a loan, this reduces risk appetite, and thus is historically bad for risk on assets, such as crypto and stocks, which most people in here are most actively invested in. When interest rates are low, so it's cheap to borrow money, this has an inverse relationship with risk on assets. When interest rates go down and it's cheap to borrow, typically this results in positive price action for risk on assets. So, however, it certainly raises inflation expectations, and that could possibly weigh in on monetary policy. So this is obviously not good for risk and assets. However, it doesn't change the inescapable fact that war is very expensive and someone needs to pay for it. Hint, hint, it's you and me through inflation. So they will continue to create treasuries, and the Fed will need to accumulate them, implicitly increasing liquidity. This is a long-term effect. Nothing stops this train. Hard to say this, but war is actually good for the stock market, provided you get a timely resolution. A strike happens, people panic, but it costs money, which the government typically spends from a deficit, requiring monetization, increasing liquidity. It's protracted and large-scale wars which redirect labor from productive capacity to destructive capacity. Also, sorry if I sound tired, guys. I am absolutely starving and thirsty. All right, 17 minutes till break fast. And nationalizes certain interests. The question is it more like World War III or just short-term incursion? I will continue to believe short-term, as there is no way in hell America would go to a ground invasion of Iran. My uninformed civilian opinion is just too costly. What it is, however, is a setup for something genuinely special. Let me explain. Okay, so this is the graph of GDP. So how much of the US public debt as you can see, percentage of GDP in previous times, when there was a civil war of the American economy, World War I is dead. The Great Depression, oh my God. As you can see, the Reagan era in previous times.
Yeah, you're breaking up on my end, but I don't know if you are for everyone else.
There's a lot of breaking up.
God damn, I'm breaking up. God, let me close a few tabs.
Right, you sound better now.
Where there was
Ah.
lag. Oh my God.
Very bad.
Let me close a few things. One sec. The Great Depression. Oh my gosh. The Reagan era and the Great Recession of am I better? Of 2008.
I think
Oh, oh God damn, I'm breaking up. So, let me close a few tabs.
you're better now. But I think it's when you talk fast.
Yeah? Lag. Oh my God. Let me close a few things. One sec. Close Discord. Check. Is this any better?
Yeah, a lot better.
Am I better?
Started cut-
Look at me now, the Chris Brown track.
Yo.
It started cutting out as soon as-
Yo, guys, please. Yo, can you guys hear me?
Yeah. All right. It started cutting out as soon as this
Better
came.
now, yeah. Okay. All right. Go back. Okay, hopefully this is fine. In summary, historically speaking, when debt has rose by so much, post-war, there's amazing. Basically, what this graph is depicting is post big wars, hello? Am I back?
Yeah, we can hear you, bro. Don't worry.
Yo.
We can
Okay.
hear you.
Maybe the Matrix doesn't like me giving this information out. So yeah, as summary, every time there's been a big war in the past 150 years, which we have to brace ourselves for, the percentage of GDP of the American economy has rose up, which has basically mean there's been way more liquidity in the system. These massive debt increases are the ones which were super bad. The hundreds of smaller incursions for activations don't even get a mention. I believe there's no structural redirection of productive capacity. Okay, amazing. I believe if there's no structural redirection of productive capacity from USA capitalism to USA all-out war. Hello? We good?
Yeah, you're still live, yeah.
So, at the moment, Professor Adam doesn't think there's any threat to the entirety of the USA becoming militarized, hence why he's still broadly bullish, according to his model of the macro environment. What matters more to Professor Adam is the setup that we're currently in. Okay. So basically, Prof. Adam is projecting that there's going to be a liquidity injection. I'm still live? All right. Carry on. According to Professor Adam, there's going to be a liquidity injection, and we're basically going to bottom out towards the end of the end of March. Possible chain events. War catalyzes market participants to rethink their position. Ultra high PE and AI positions undergo a partial unwind, while other defensive or thematic sectors gain positive. Companies like Lockheed Martin, etc. This rotation shows up as high volatility, but doesn't impact the index price level significantly. For example, S&P 500 stays high, whilst P ratio is broadly reduced and breadth improvises. So basically, the S&P 500 takes a pullback, but not to the point where it's anything too crazy. War resolves. Everyone realizes it wasn't as bad as they thought. This is often the case. Market is fundamentally in a much healthier position than 1 month ago. Next rally is high quality. Oil. Before I go any further, please be aware if you're trading oil, which you shouldn't be, I am. Understand you're playing a very dangerous game, which is highly dependent on the short-term decisions of politicians. If you're involving yourself in it somehow, please use momentum methodologies. Let's have a look at this. Forget that. Too complicated. Move on to some on-chain indicators and see if there's anything interesting. The Bitcoin CDD, which is something to do with coins being destroyed. I forgot the exact metric. I forget the exact acronym. Coins days destroyed. That's what it stands for. Coins days destroyed, in which I've been speculating on for a while. Looks like it has finally reset itself to a suitable level, which is this level here. The last time we were at this level was in around Q3 2023. And I remember this period exactly. Q3 2023 is when I began getting off centralized exchanges and becoming a 100% decentralized on-chain trader. This was the crazy. This period here was the most crazy Solana meme coin trading period I've ever been through in my entire life. I remember this period very, very well. And hopefully the trenches are set up to light on fire again. Retail investor volume has reached lows of the tariffs crash, which is an indication of a bottom signal. Future sentiment looking like absolute shit. Quote Professor Adam. Remember, futures and leverage exacerbate the position of spot, which is signaling a bottom signal. Crypto sentiment looking like shit. Last time the top end optimal variation of the series was this low, it was the bear market. This low right here. Get these. In the short term, I can't lie, things look like we need to accept a little bit more volatility at the cost of playing the game. What matters though is the setup that we're in. Let's read here. So short term, 1 month, torture retail trading to death via public trader executions. So that's in basically liquidating all the leverage traders. The bottom is roughly in. There is no point attempting to define bull or bear markets. Better to conceptualize probabilistic future returns with macro data. High volatility straight line recovery to confuse everyone who is sidelined on bearish of Walsh getting nominated. So remember, Kevin Walsh is going to be the next head of the Fed chair. And he is in Trump's cabinet. People have been saying that this guy is a monetary policy hawk, so somebody who likes to keep interest rates high. However, multiple models have shown that he seems to be a hawk when the people in power are Democrats. So people like Biden. However, he seems to have a dovish stance when Trump is in office. So could the Fed be compromised? Probably. 1 to 3 months, exit pump for BT speculators, high volatility, low returns in most asset classes on Walsh taking Fed share until his policies are clearly communicated, and we hope them to be dovish. BTC gold ratio looks primed in BTC's favor. Let's just have a look at that BTC gold ratio. Okay, 10 minutes to break fast. Oh my God. Yeah, so if you look at the daily time frame, you can see here, this is basically Bitcoin denominated in gold. It's currently 13 ounces of gold priced at around $5,100 an ounce per BTC. 5 times 13 is 65. Bitcoin's what, like 670 or something right now? 67. Yeah, so obviously been banging on about this ratio for a while. It's been sidelined, but we do expect this to turn around and for BTC to eventually outperform gold. Gold will probably continue to perform okay while in the range, but will not experience any more parabolic moves. I agree with this. Definitely looking up to, in terms of gold trading, however, in the short term, gold is looking absolutely primed to break this resistance. I don't know why gold wouldn't retest up here, and that's really great if you trade gold. I'll definitely be buying some gold lots. Longer term, 3 to 12 months. We'll monitor the liquidity situation beyond Q1. Need more data, most likely bearish due to wash. ISM cycle analysis suggests crypto returns can still be competitive. Again, let's just have a look at the ISM. At 52.4. Yeah, we're hoping this is going to break. We're hoping this is going to break to the upside, but we'll have to wait. We'll have to wait. Copper gold ratio as surrogate for real economic rotation to growth, looking like it's in a generational low, similar at ISM. Global liquidity cycle being driven mostly by China. Current outlook for turbo Fed liquidity looking tenuous unless we get financial catastrophe. Zero chance of bazooka. The fiscal situation in the USA is terrible and getting worse at an accelerated pace. This will require an extreme level of soft default monetization. 2026 to 2028 markets will be fundamentally bullish as the debt crisis in the USA picks up speed. More debt monetization equals higher crypto prices. To play the devil's advocate on oil, if it were to trend higher over time due to all the refinances in the Middle East getting nuked and the USA refusing to increase supply, it would affect inflation as previously mentioned. The previous US 10-year yield, which is this graph here. So how much interest countries get for locking up their money with the USA for 10 years. From exploding higher, they would need to deploy, I don't know what YCC is, which would result in a bull market in crypto that would make the 2017 bull market look tiny by comparison. However, it is unlikely that they would allow this to happen now they have control over Venezuela. Think of it from this perspective. You're Trump and you want rates lower so you don't preside over the financial destruction of the United States. Are you going to print oil or not? So the answer is yes. Yeah, another reason why I think turbo long in oil is a mistake. High oil is an existential threat to the USA. Why do you think they did Venezuela before Iran? The sign should be obvious if you're willing to open your eyes. So basically long on oil. However, this is not a good thing for the economy. Oh my god, I'm dying. All right, 3 minutes and we can break fast, I'm sure. What's Halima doing? Not sure. All right, okay. Quick tweets from James Easton UK, one of my favorite people on Twitter, part of the Real Vision community. The total market cap is a mere $2.29 trillion. If the global asset pool is $750 trillion, then 1% allocation to crypto would bring crypto to $7.5 trillion. Now, I think this is very, very possible. I know it's difficult to imagine this, right? But where we are in crypto right now is lower than we were in December 2021. A lot has changed in these 5 years. And I know we're going through a lot of pain right now. But when things turn around, I'm sure that this target here of 7.5 trillion is not an unrealistic target, because that would mean 1% of the global world asset pool is in crypto. Fear and greed index on the 100-day moving average. Remember, all moving average means is the previous days or months or years divided by however big the metric is. So literally an average in maths. So for example, let's say you got three numbers, right? You got 3, 5, and 2. 3, 5, and 2. Just iterate what an average is. So you got three numbers, right? You got 3 plus 5 plus 2. That equals 10. How many numbers do we have? We got three numbers. 10 divided by 3, the average is 3.33 recurring. So that's all averages are. The fear and greed index is the second lowest that we've ever been. The only time we were lower was in the depths of hell of the 2022 bear market when Solana was sub $10 and Bitcoin was sub I think it was $16,000 during the time. ETH was like 800. Bullish. Next. BTC closer to the bottom than the top. Opportunistic discounts feel like they will be here forever. If we move back to 60K, people will be waiting for 50K. If we move to 50K, people will be waiting for 40K, and so on. I remember in the bear market when Bitcoin hit 16K and people were saying we're going to go down to 10K. We're going to go down to 12K. But we never hit that bottom. We were literally on 16K for like, I think a week or something. And then we pushed higher to around the 20K zones. My plan remains the same, DCing at 65K or lower. I think years from now, not instant gratification. Long-term strategies will dominate. They always do. 2 minutes till break fast. Let's go. Salt in its glory. Enjoy the discount whilst it lasts. Another bottom model. I do think Solana does have a chance of reaching $1,000. So brace yourselves. Interestingly, on Ethereum, I'm assuming this is some kind of whale accumulation metric on chain. We have actually got more accumulation. This accumulation model has crossed over the price. I don't know what the exact metric is, or measurement. Next one. All coins are dead, bro, which is exactly why I'm bullish. The conviction shall prosper. Percentage of all coins near all-time lows is at an all-time high. It's only a matter of time. Right. I'm breaking my fast in 1 minute. Cryzo, are you ready? Are you ready to take over?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Cryzo.
It's lagging a lot for you, bro.
Hello? Where my co-host go?
No, I'm right here, bro.
Yo, I can hear you, but I don't think he can hear you.
Nah, he can hear me, but we're all lagging for him.
All right.
So he's gonna hear me in about 3-4 minutes or something. Right, guys.
Right.
I'll just get started. Okay, with everything going on, if you're a futures trader, it might have been good, but recently we had a really tough thing in terms of my own signals. Um, it was one of the first times that I saw liquidity change. Like I say, like that's when you should be looking to exit. If liquidity starts to change, a lot of liquidity forms to the upside. Really fast. It's a big sign that we're gonna move up. When price spikes, a lot of people go in for shorts, and I did, to be honest. I did open it. I opened my position too long, too big. I mean, so I wasn't able to control my liquidation price and stuff like that. That's inevitably why I went. I got liquidated, but it did end up dumping from all the way from 74K down to 65K, which was great. It was great. It showed me that, the strategy still works. There was still the fact that there was a lot of liquidity being formed. Right, by the way, I'm gonna share my screen. Um, okay. So, just 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Yeah. So, right. Um, 1 second as well. Right. Why is it lagging? Yeah. So I tried to long around this area. I actually I did a mistake. So, well, when I was asleep, I had a buy order open by accident at 65K. 69.5 it was specifically. So it bought in here for a short and then it ended up just going up. But if I was awake, I would have, waited for price action to do something. I wouldn't really have bought in. So just be careful, just don't forget that you are playing with real money if you are trading. I tend to just, see it as a game sometimes and make silly mistakes like that. But inevitably, it ran up, right? Liquidity formed when it was up around here, right? Up to the upside here. Um, it ran up, created some bullish, then started coming down, touched this area again. Now that is what you want in terms of price action. You could have already entered here because you started to see a bullish trend pattern. Um, and then the fact that it retested that point created big buy bubbles here. And then it continued to go down. That is what we were looking for. It went and ran all the way down to 67K, 66. It, now this is why I do. I trade against the trend. I trade against the pattern. I look for reversals. Obviously, I tried to do scalps, so I would have tried to do 71K to 76. That would have been about 100%, right? But my most favorite trades are the ones that are run all the way, even though I tend to exit too early usually. But we're looking for one of them. But I'm looking to start swing trading, not swinging. What the fuck? Swing trading. Yeah. If I was gonna enter now, based on my original signals, the CVD bubbles, the RSI, the MACD, and everything. Not the MACD. Uh, we look kind of bullish. We look like there could be a possible continuation upwards. But if we go to my main tool, which is the liquidation map, there's a lot of liquidity to the bottom still. So I wouldn't enter here. I'd wait for us to clear some of this, and then I'd go long because on the 7 day, there's a lot of liquidity to the top, but the one thing that I don't like is how choppy it is around these areas. The fact that this liquidity has been cleared recently, um, it's like there's not a lot of reason for us to go up real soon. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm definitely waiting for us to clear some of this here, this money, pay up for the exchanges, and then they'll let us pump again. Um, in terms of the war and stuff like that, I personally don't even care. I don't give a shit because I've got this weird theory. It's like, um, they're all doing it so that the stocks and all that stuff happen. I mean? It's all a money game. I don't think it's even based about politics or something. It's all like some guy with a lot of money wants the markets to move a certain way, so he starts a war with Iran. You know what I mean? Um, by the way, Ninja actually called oil. I remember speaking to him and he was like, "Oil's a good long." Like the exchanges, and then they'll let us pump again. In terms of the war and stuff like that, I personally don't even care. I don't give a shit because I've yeah, um, that was loud. Right. Well, what were we saying? Yeah, Ninja just caught oil. Um, I remember him calling it around here. I think it was a few days ago, maybe a week ago or something, or maybe even here. But he called it. Just saying. Yeah. I don't even trade oil, gold, or anything, even though I am looking to. And the signals are pretty good. Look, every time there's these big bubbles, it pumps a bit. Bubble here, pumped. Bubble here, pumps. The green, there's too many people buying gold anyway, so you can't tell when to sell. Um, but yeah, we trade. I'm trading Bitcoin only. But yeah, like I said, I'd wait for it to go down a bit more. Wait for liquidity to form to the upside before I start to think of buying it again to long. Um, the 30 days, it's been bugging me. It's shifted. There's still a lot of liquidity downwards. There's up to 62K. That's a lot of liquidity on 30 day. You know what I mean? Um, this definitely needs to shift so that we can go long. Um, I also think if we were gonna go long again, the next time could be seriously amazing. I think the fact that it's just pumped here, it's tricked us, it's grabbed a lot of liquidity, and it's hit. It's also swiped us down. If it touches 62K, um, which it could do, uh, I'd rather it didn't, but if it touched around there, then we could start to consider it going down even further, like below it, I mean. Um, but yeah, the top of the range and the bottom of the range is pretty much around 70s, like the low 70s, and the like just 60K, 62K. That's the range. So when you're at the top, you want to consider longing, shorting, I mean, sorry. When you're at the bottom, you want to consider longing a lot more. Um, but if we keep this trend going, that they just broke it. But if we keep some sort of bullish trend continuing, I do think we would be going a lot higher soon, around 82K, 90K. But I think mainly we've got to wait for this war to end, right? A lot of people aren't talking about this, but I'll actually check this. When was the last last war, right? It was 12-day war, 13th to 24th of June 2025. Iran. Um bro, there's wars and stuff going on, like no one's even talking about this. But yeah, I think a war, like if it happens, we're gonna pump heavily. The last time a war happened and tensions like this were happening, we did pump back in Ninja's days. Um, yeah, I wasn't there, but I wasn't. Yeah. Um, so I'm looking for a mega long right now. I'm gonna look to try to swing trade it, as well as scalp on the opposite end because with big volatility and big money coming in, there is always a massive sweep to the downside around after it, or maybe there isn't, but who knows? We'll keep watching this and seeing where it goes because it will constantly change with big moves like this and big people like people looking at this and be like, oh my God, it's just pumped heavily. Let's go short. A lot of people are going to do that, and then that gives it reason to go up even more, right? So be careful. We're going to pump when everyone's the most terrified. When your friend says to you, "We're going to 28K," that's when you want to go along because that means that we're going to pump, right? When random people are telling you Bitcoin's gonna crash, you know what I mean? It's gonna go to worthless. That's the best time. Last time someone did that, they said it was gonna go 28K, and then we pumped very shortly after. You know what I mean? Around here, right? They was like, it's gonna dump, it's gonna go so low, and then we did run a bit 71K. No, it wasn't the best, but you know what I mean. Um, yeah, that's why I think we're gonna go up because people are terrified right now. Always go against what the people are saying, except Matthew CBM, which I want to show you guys this video. Um, This guy is one of the best guys. I don't know if you guys remember him when I've talked to him about him every single time I do a stream. Uh, but he's called it every time. He's been so great at this. Honestly, I've been watching him for like a few months now, and every time he's been extremely accurate. He's the one who called the dip from 67 to no 87 to 60 or whatever it was. But yeah, we're gonna watch this together, and I just want
Yeah, that's why I think we're gonna go up.
okay. Yeah, gonna watch it, and I want to see you guys' opinions on it. This is watch before Monday. It is tomorrow's Monday, so um, let's see what he thinks. Let me just mute myself. Let me know if you can still hear my screen whilst I mute myself.
No, I can't hear it, mate.
To dump. We are seeing this.
We can now. Yeah, can now.
Big up.
Huh? Big Monty? Hey.
Over $800 billion was wiped out from the stock market on Friday. Meanwhile, Bitcoin continues to dump. We are seeing the same thing play out over and over again. And in today's video, we'll be discussing what could be next for the crypto markets. If you enjoy the content, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. Without further ado, let's jump right into the video. So as you can see, just under $1 trillion wiped out from the US stock market yesterday at market close, and Bitcoin clearly did not like this. Now, at this point in time, from a technical perspective, Bitcoin is hovering right below its point of control of the range. We discussed how important these levels really are for Bitcoin if we can't get any sign of strength. Now, if you've been watching the channel for a while, as you know, I have been shorting Bitcoin. We somehow managed to catch the Pico top on this most recent short. I'm currently up just under $100,000 on this short, and this was shared, of course, in my group. Now, at this point in time, if Bitcoin is to get continuation, I would like to see a reclaim of the point of control. It is that simple. So a reclaim would look something like this, breaking above this level and then holding above this turquoise line on a 4-hour candle closing basis. Multiple 4-hour candle closes would suggest that perhaps Bitcoin can get a move to the upside. However, I'm not here to give you any kind of false hope. If you've been watching the channel for a while, we've been discussing time and time again how Bitcoin is in a bear market. Look, I shorted right below $100,000 and I shorted again right below $74,000. If you're new to the channel, the reason why I shorted, just to repeat myself once more, is because we had a major push towards this anchored VWAP, which was a critical zone for Bitcoin to break past. I was essentially betting on the fact that we would not break past these levels, and my next target, if we were to break past them, would be the tariff capitulation lows. We discussed the fact that this area would be a very good area to actually take profits on longs if you are in longs in this market. Now, I understand a lot of people are not leverage trading this crypto market, especially in the bear market, but we also touched on the fact that from an investment standpoint, if you are just a spot holder, it's important to be very, very careful if the stock market breaks below these moving averages consisting of the bull market support band. So if the stock market starts getting closes below this level, I'm quoting myself here, it simply means that crypto will struggle. And at this point in time, what do you notice here? On a daily candle closing basis, we managed to close below the bull market support band. Now, starting this new week, it will be extremely important to see whether or not we can immediately reclaim it or if we're going to get any continuation lower. Continuation lower simply means, in my opinion, that Bitcoin will go ahead and move lower, which is why I'm positioned from a short perspective, essentially betting on the price of Bitcoin going down. Now, if this sounds interesting to you, please remember, I'm sharing all of my trades in my group. You do have the first link in the description down below. If you DM me the keyword CBM on Telegram, you can join my private group. The only requirement is that you signed up with one of my affiliate exchange links and you start trading on there as you normally would with your own capital. We have tons of options down below. My go-to exchange, as a matter of fact, is Bluffin. I really do trust their platform. You can trade stocks, crypto, and precious metals. Now,
By the way, I agree with him on being in a bear market. After we broke 80 whatever K it was, we definitely entered bear marketplace. And this guy is amazing, genius.
let's also talk about the fact that the Coinbase Premium Index has indeed diminished here. Now, on the 30-minute time frame, it doesn't paint a super clear picture. You'll see a map.
So the Coinbase Bitcoin Premium is the difference in price between the Bitcoin price and the Bitcoin price on Coinbase. Sometimes Bitcoin is cheaper or more expensive on Coinbase, and that determines whether it's bullish or not. I don't know too much about the psychology behind it or why it is, but yeah.
spike, which coincides almost perfectly with the most recent Bitcoin top. However, if we go on the one-day time frame, something I want you to pay attention to is that this most recent spike here is absolutely nothing compared to the previous price action that we got going into Bitcoin's all-time high. And so there is a chance that this can continue, but it would likely coincide with renewed stock market strength. And I'm not necessarily betting on it. We talked about the fact that the stock market looked very, very dumpy. Guys, it's not all doom and gloom on my channel. I just want to make sure that you understand what I think could be happening next. We've been talking about the stock market potentially getting some kind of top over the past couple months. Now, the stock market takes much, much longer to play out, especially with corrections. Right now, you can see that we're hardly making new all-time highs. And finally, we broke below the bull market support band. Legends, this is going to be a very, very quick update video. It is indeed Saturday. It's as simple as reclaiming this point of control. If Bitcoin cannot reclaim this point of control, then I would be betting on the fact that Bitcoin will ultimately move lower. And this will simply be another deviation above the local highs, like we saw when Bitcoin pumped all the way up to $97,000, breaking above its own local highs once more, and then dropping much further as the bear market progresses. Now, the positive news here is, as Bitcoin has lower, I will be accumulating more Bitcoin, and I'm more than happy to guide all of you legends along the way. So, at this point in time, you can see that we're just dumping. And if Bitcoin does lose its point of control with confidence, multiple 4-hour closes below that level, well, this short is going to continue printing. As I said previously, this was shared in my group. I was very, very vocal about looking for a new opportunity to short Bitcoin and make money on the way down. Next thing I wanted to cover here, the Bitcoin exchange liquidation map. Just quickly, you can see that there's still on the 30-day time frame around.
Hey, just saying, we're on the same wave.
Same amount of cumulative long liquidation leverage to cumulative short liquidation leverage. And because we are in a bear market, it makes sense to favor dumps over pumps. So when we get pumps, I basically look for swing shorting opportunities in this market. This strategy won't work forever. There will be a moment where I will simply be looking for swing longing opportunities in this market, and that will be near those bear market lows as we try to establish a base, which we've discussed.
Now this is, see what he's saying here right now is what I think I've been kind of forgetting about. There is a point in time where this won't work, you know what I mean? Because it didn't work around 70 something K I didn't watch it enough, you know what I mean? The liquidity was forming way too fast. So when we do get to those lows, obviously there's gonna be a lot of people thinking it's gonna go short. So I'm, you know, we'll see how it goes. You know what I mean? This strategy's only been running for like a few months. It's been amazing though. And it's continuing to develop. But yeah.
And time again, these bear market low bases take time to form. It's not just a wick to the downside and then we're off to the races. We typically chop around near the low for quite some time, as you can see here in the previous cycle. And it looks so similar. Sorry to repeat myself, but a dump from all-time highs, a retest of the bull market support band, another dump, a little bit of relief, another dump, and then ultimately we are forming the bear market bottom. This would be the accumulation zone. If we take it with today's price action, same exact thing. Please just don't ignore the facts. Don't make this harder than it needs to be operating in a bear market. A dump from an all-time high, a pump to the bull market support band, another dump, and now you can see we had a pretty big move to the upside. Let me measure it from the low to the high. We pumped over 23%. Now you'll notice that this previous pump over here after crashing in the previous bear market was approximately a 28% pump. So there is a chance that Bitcoin can move higher, but on the lower time frames, we must absolutely reclaim this point of control. If we cannot do this, it's going to be lower for Bitcoin. I'm just showing you how I'm operating in this market. Now, from a profit-taking perspective, it's the same exact thing. While I am betting for Bitcoin to move lower here, I would like to see us reclaim the point of control for me to consider closing at least 20% of my existing Bitcoin short position, because this could signal that maybe we want another move to the upside. So I'm monitoring the charts very closely, even over the course of this weekend.
Yeah, his trading strategy, I've talked about this before, but he takes profits at certain points. He never closes a trade fully, just takes profits. So you'll close partially of the partial positions, and then you set your stop loss at break even. So just in case you're betting on the trade possibly running infinitely, right? Imagine he caught along at the 73K and it ended up going down all the way to like 28K. He already is set for life, but you know, he'd be printing heavily. So yeah, he caught along at, I think he caught a short on 93K, right, which is the very peak. And he always catches these peak trades. He trades with like 10x, even though he could be trading with high leverage like I do. But yeah, guy's a genius.
Last thing I wanted to cover in this quick video, Iran came out and said that they will no longer attack neighboring countries or launch missiles unless an attack on Iran originates from those countries. So that's ultimately positive news for the Middle East. I am actually based in the Middle East, so I'm very, very happy to hear this. Meanwhile, Trump took this as an opportunity to come out and say that Iran has surrendered to its Middle East neighbors. I'm not sure what you think about this. Leave your comments down below. I'd love to know. And that sums up today's quick video. Very, very quick weekend update. But hey, I'm still shorting Bitcoin. I wanted to let you know that nothing has changed from my perspective. Shorting from $97,000, holding part of you're trading this market. If you enjoy
Yeah, Matthew CBM, guys. If you like his content, definitely subscribe to him, guys. My favorite guys. He's definitely underrated as hell. This video's only got 5.2K views, right? So I think he's a hidden gem. One of the goats. We'll put the notifications on. Oh, I hope that goes in just phone now. Um, and yeah, that's my whole run on this thing. I personally think we're gonna go a bit lower. Yeah, mainly because of the daily on this. I think we're gonna go just a bit lower. 61K is good, right? If we start to break that point, then we're going down 65K. If we start to break that point and liquidity starts to form on the one day, we are definitely gonna touch 62K. Oh no, not even. It's not there anymore. Yeah, actually, it's 66K or 64K really. That's the bottom though. I think 64K is the bottom. At most, yeah, 64K. It just wouldn't in terms of a long position, short term. Um, yeah. We who knows? We could go all the way down to the 58K, but I do think the people have been terrified enough to the point where we're definitely looking like we're gonna pump soon. Eventually everyone's gonna be like, oh, why are you trading this? It's just pointless. Everyone's losing. Right? And that's the point where we wanna buy in. Get $1,000 10x long. Right guys, yeah, that's it for me. Has anyone got any questions on anything that I've talked about? If not, I'll just pass it back to Ninja. It wouldn't, in terms of a long position, and that was so confusing. 58K, but I do think the people have been terrified enough to the point where we're definitely right, Ninja. Every time you speak, it just plays me back to myself. So like. I don't know what's going on. It plays me back like 3 minutes ago. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Maybe you're you're a tap out. Do you want me to continue this? Too much technical difficulties. Wait, no, leave and join back. Set me as a host and leave and join back. Um, yeah, I can go. All right, bro. No worries. Um, I want to go over some altcoins, right? Because altcoin season, everyone's talking like it's dead, right? And every time someone talks like something's dead, um, it means good. It means good things, right? So, bit Unix. So, where's Pengu at? Surely the guy's got Pengu. This is Pippin. Oh, by the way, I'm on Mateus's. I hacked Mateus's to trading because if you can find a link, just do it, right? Let's move this down there. So, right, my chart's so small. I'm gonna delete this mic D. It's way too big. Let's delete this too. Right, Pengu is at 0.0064. A lot of people are saying it's died. I think the team is extremely professional. Like, I really like the team. Overall, check this. We can all see this. We can all see that. Like, that's a really clear uptrend. And if we go on the daily, scroll that down a bit. Like, oh my days. 0.006 to the all-time high of 0.045. Now, what's that? I'm gonna try to do this in my head, right? So it's like that's like the 7x, I think. 6 times 5, 6. Yeah, 7, roughly about. That's a lot. You know what I mean? If you had a 10x long, and also you can do futures on this. This isn't like a meme coin. If you're gonna trade on like 5x leverage, right? You're like convinced we're not gonna go lower on Pengu. Um, you could do a 3x long of around, say, if you did 3.3K on 3x, right, you'd make um 70K or roughly about 60K just from holding it over a long time. Say you did one point, say you did 1K on 5x. You'd make, so that's five times seven. You'd make about 35K. You know what I mean? These are big numbers, man. Like especially when you're doing futures and stuff. I wish we had music in the background, man. What the hell? Yeah, in terms of Sol's still strong regardless. But this is everything's at a discount. What can I say? What have we got? There's nothing else I can really say. Does anyone have any questions for me? Does anyone want to know anything? Anyone have any things they want to ask about any stocks? I can look at some indicators related to your stocks. They are quite effective.
Yeah, I got stuck.
Go ahead.
Uh, 1 sec, let me just pull up this account. Yeah, well, actually, one of them is Coinbase. I've marked out a couple. Um, I've marked out a couple spots where I think it might be pulling back down to. Um, I mean, I know Ninja mentioned it before, and it was on my list, and I, I didn't think it, what you call it. I didn't buy any of the stock, and then I regretted it. And then I watched it go up a bit, and obviously it's coming back down, and I've got like a few points where I think it might be coming back down to, but it would be good to get like your opinion on where you think it's gonna pull back to before I can look at um buying some shares in it.
Okay. Um, what's the Coinbase? Because I'm looking at the Coinbase stock. Is there a Coinbase crypto coin too?
I don't know, is there?
I don't think there is actually.
I think they just use the base token.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, sorry, not base. There's no base token. I think isn't it just base ETH? Like, I don't think there's a.
Right. Okay. Don't
Yeah.
worry. If there isn't, that's fine.
Mm.
Uh, yeah. I
There's
thought,
loads of crypto token.
but yeah.
Or,
In terms of indicators, we'll look at everything. There's too many cells to even think about going long at any point. Way too many sellers. Yeah, I think everyone. If you saw what that guy said about the Nasdaq, um, like the stock market looks like it's reversing as a whole, and I think if all your stocks are going to be affected, you know what I mean? If we do get a dump, so um, it's been dumping for a long time. When did you buy in? Or when have you bought in?
What, to Coinbase?
Yeah.
Oh no, I haven't. I've just been watching it. Um, and
Well,
just
price to buy in.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I think it would like obviously I'm not a stocks guy, right? But I've got a lot of like I understand a lot about it. I'm around it quite a lot, so it would make sense to buy in Coinbase when Bitcoin is pumping, isn't it? Like so, when was this? 15 minutes. This is the 15 minutes, right? Um, it pumped along with Bitcoin. What's the correlation with Bitcoin in this? Because if you can find something that you can measure, um, oh dear, this whole trading view needs to be cleaned up, man. All right, it's not correlating with Bitcoin, but it's currently on an uptrend, anyways. Yeah, I think this shows that there's more interest coming into crypto, which would make sense since crypto is definitely undervalued right now and has been at a bottom. So it could definitely pump. If there's any sort of liquidity or anything at certain parts, I don't think it would even touch that, because it's a stock rather than a coin. I think it looks bullish. Where do you think it's gonna go to?
Uh, I don't even know. I think it was on my thingy. Let me see if I can get up trading view because I know it hit like 213, 214, I think, and then started pulling back to 196. And I think that was around where there's some gaps. So I think initially I was just looking and wondered whether there was like three lots of gaps or something like that. So I thought it's possible that it might pull back to some of those sections.
I think that's very possible, because I think if you're as long as you're bullish on crypto, we're within the current long term, the current short mid term, or even, I think you should be investing in Coinbase. In my personal opinion, I think overall though, just recently it has been a bit too oversold. So I'd maybe wait on some to see how it reacts with Bitcoin, and maybe see if you can clear this CME gaps. You see these gaps in stocks.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I'm not too sure how it comes to the stocks, but I know these usually get filled quite often. There's a lot of people that want to buy the 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 stock at these prices which haven't filled. You know what I mean? So might go down there to sell some of these stuff, or people may have missed it. Who knows? Um, but yeah, like I'd say wait to see maybe some price action on the stock, right? See people. What's this? See some new resistance. Wow, my days. Yeah, see some more resistance. Like you see here, when it came here, it started to bounce up around this point.
Okay.
Uh, and that shows, okay, people are interested. Some people might be thinking, we've just made a buck, right? But there's still a lot of people that are still interested. You know what I mean? They're willing to buy in this much of a candle here instead of waiting for it to come down maybe back to here. So yeah, if you start to see big candles and stuff like that around a point, right? It might go down and then you see another candle, right? It's a good buying position long term anyways, mid term. Um, but be careful because it can reverse. Um, in terms of stocks, I would always I think my indicators, I'm gonna try them anyways. Um, but my indicators are mainly for, market manipulation, which is a lot less in terms of this stuff. But yeah, this kind of looks like a good buy. You might go down a bit lower, maybe touch this 188 zone, clear the CME gap, and then continue up. Um, I wouldn't be against the buy right now. I think it will probably touch these points which you're talking about. It might even go higher, especially with Iran and stuff, war and all that. If you know any news about Coinbase, let's search them up right now. Coinbase news. Um, New US crypto tax reporting rules. That's not good. Um, DX is now 2 days ago. Right, yeah, they've just opened up a lot of trading. Um, so 100 trillion could move into Bitcoin and crypto. Okay, not important. Yeah, but okay. So Coinbase is definitely like they're very active. Um the other competitor is Binance. And let's see how I don't yeah, they've got a coin instead, which is a bit tougher. That's not really gonna be helpful. Have they got a stock? I don't think so. Yeah. I think it's a good buy. Maybe wait a bit just in case it would go down. If you wanted to go and stay here for longer, maybe touch, these zones up here, 230 or something. You just have to wait for it to spike up and spike back down. Create this as a good resistance, a support zone. Um, and then yeah,
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
no worries, no worries. I hope that helped. Obviously, I'm not too into stocks, but I understand the markets a bit and how it runs. Um, but yeah, has anyone got anything else they want to look at? Um, I don't know if we've gone over news properly, but yeah, we've talked about the war. Honestly, I wouldn't give a shit, unless you've got family in those areas. I've got family in the Middle East, but we're okay. We're still rocking. If you trade gold, let's try give an analysis. We're bullish. I'd say we're bullish. Sources, trust me, bro. But yeah, that's it from you guys. I'm done today. I hope you guys learn anything. Ryan, Kenny, have you guys been trading?
I haven't, but I was just about to say to you that it would be good if I could, when I got some time and you've got some time, if we could run over another session like what you did before.
Bro, do you want to do that right now? Because
Yeah, sure. Okay.
because we're recording anyways, and we usually end the stream about like 7, half 7. So yeah, well, so right, well,
Yeah, bro, whatever. I don't mind. If you don't mind. Yeah.
all right, well, what do you guys remember from the last one? I want you guys to try to go over it. You know what I mean? Test you guys a bit. What do you guys remember?
If I'm honest, like a lot of it is a bit of a blur because it was more of like it was like the first time being like the first time that I'd even experienced that types of markets. Plus, I'm pretty still green on stocks in general and charts in general. So for me, it was more of a run through of this is another way of how to make money, even when the markets are down and stuff like that. So I remember I remember bits of it, kind of like you explaining like how you use the bubbles to like manipulate where the market's heading to. And I know you showed us that liquidation chart, and you was mentioning about the how that correlates into the decision you make whether to like go long or short. But then it's kind of like those are kind of the little bits that I remember, but then it's getting a better understanding of it and then actually putting it into practice.
Yeah, 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 I hear you. Have you seen you could demonstrate on MXC?
No, I don't think I looked into that. No, no.
Yeah, but you can. So I
Yeah.
definitely next time keep your notifications on, right? When I do say I'm longing on my crypto chart on my crypto telegram, I mean, the entry is usually valid for quite a bit.
Okay.
And just try to you can always speak to me around those times as well. Feel free to hop on a call or anything, uh, and we'll go exactly how to execute a trade. But yeah, so right, so this liquidity chart, right? The reason why I use this is because it shows where money is, right? So do you understand that? Right. You need to understand that money is controlled, right? The money in crypto is controlled by people with a lot of money. Like most of the big moves are not made by people with little money. You know what I mean? It's always the big players, right? Now these big players are the exchanges, the people who um who own the supply and sell it to people, retailers, and like Binance, like Coinbase, um, like all these exchanges where Bitcoin is sold, right? So um, they make money. Do you understand that the way they make money is by selling and opening shorts, opening longs, selling Bitcoin, buying Bitcoin, people buying Bitcoin. You know what I mean? So do you understand that?
Yeah, yeah, I understand that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, this here, it shows where people are gonna buy Bitcoin or sell Bitcoin, right? Because or have their shorts or their longs closed, right? These big points here, the spikes, are where the
Wait,
most.
are you supposed to be showing us something?
Oh yeah, shit, my bad.
Yeah, you're not screen sharing.
I was just thinking, wait, is he expected? Like, I didn't know if it's something supposed to be on the screen or not.
Yeah, literally, I was showing you this, right? Yeah. So these big spikes here, right? These are the places where the most of those orders are going to be filled, right? And that's pretty much where these big players are targeting. That's their targets. So if you want to think like them, then you should be targeting
Is
these.
that sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Is that to do with like obviously they're targeting where like the liquidity is, where the most liquidity is to get their orders filled?
Yeah,
Or
yeah, exactly. That's literally what this is. Um, so yeah, look, this liquidity is an exp it's like a representation of how much money there is. You know what I mean? For them to make, right? So if the price went here, right, they'd overall make around 300 million.
uh,
Do you know what I mean?
uh,
Make a lot of money here, but there's a lot of money piling up to the upside here. So, it would be favorable for them to move up here at the same time. Do you understand that?
right, okay then.
These spikes. So right now it's not a good move, especially.
So what would they push the price to those levels or
Yeah, they would. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
There's sometimes where you'll see something like this, right? I'm gonna zoom in here. You see, oh, this might not be a good explanation of it, but here, this here. Oh, this even. Do you see this big candle here, right? And how it reversed, like it's just the end of a wick.
Yeah.
That is what we call a liquidity sweep. It's like, oh, they see the coins going down, right? But they want to make more money, right? They know there's a lot of money still there. So they just pump it really fast, right? And then they sell it really fast just to grab that money which is there. And then
Right.
price can continue to go down. Once you see that, that's a really bullish that's a sign that's, it's gonna reverse in the opposite direction.
So is that a flush? Like
Yeah, 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 it's a flush. It's a flush.
okay,
I'm trying to flush this liquidity.
right, okay.
So does that make more sense to you?
Yeah, yeah. I watched one video on YouTube just around this coin glass thing, this liquidation map thing. So that helped a bit as well. And obviously your video was really helpful as well. I watched that again today. So
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So sorry I took too long with that. Oh my days, I
No,
missed.
no, 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 no. It's cool. It's cool, isn't it? I mean, as I say, it's here now, innit? So I've got it. I can keep going over it, and then obviously when you post in the group, like obviously, like I can demo trade and kind of follow your trade as well. So
Ah,
get an idea for it.
great, 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 great. Right. Now this, I think that's the basis of where you'd be looking to short and where you'd be looking to long. But obviously you want to know some price action too. Um, some ideas of what the price and the charts would look like when you want to actually enter or exit because like I was asleep when I entered at 69.5, right? Because I entered just purely based on this liquidity map, and the price continued to go up. A lot of liquidity started to form, and price action did not look like how it should have been. If I were to continue like enter, I would have exited here 69.7, 100%. I would have got out with maybe like 30% loss. But obviously it continued to run. So you guys remember the indicators I gave you, the Heikin-Ashi RSI. Right, I'm gonna go over this one first. Do you remember that this is oversold or undersold? Do you know what that means? Hello.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
Yes.
understand oversold and undersold, but I normally understand it from like a RSI point of view.
Yeah, yeah, this is the same thing as an RSI.
Okay.
The reason I use this is just because it's what I'm used to. It's pretty much the same thing.
Just undersold is that when it's cheap?
Yeah, wait,
Right.
undersold. Undersold, it means it's expensive.
Right. Okay. Is that not oversold?
Wait,
I get confused with the
uh,
terminology a bit.
just honestly, wait, no, fuck all that. Just call it expensive or cheap. Same thing. Yeah, if it's down here, it's cheap. If it's up there, it's expensive,
Mm-mm.
right?
That's to
So
do with the buyer or seller pressure, yeah.
yeah, it's like too many people buy in. A lot of people are like, they're selling because of fear. You know what I mean? Instead of actually because they think it should be sold for that good price. So, um, yeah, it's just, just simplify it to yourself. Don't overcomplicate it. It's cheap or expensive. Um, Now let's look at the other ones. Do you remember you guys know the MACD and the DMI?
Yeah.
Um, moving average convergence, divergence. So yeah, there's this is like this should be like your final confirmation. It's like, okay, we're looking like we're about to go up. Right now, we're not looking about like we're about to go up, right? We're looking like we're gonna go down, right? Um, Usually, these liquidation bubbles, you'd want everything to correlate, and then you want to feel so confident in a move, and you want to see that okay, we're about to rip, right? Ninja usually does these lines and stuff like that. I just look at this, right? Just simpler for me. The momentum has gone down, right? On the long, on the upside. There's less momentum. We're about to go down, right? Momentum is forming to the downside. This it hasn't shown a decrease in momentum. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, this isn't a perfect signal, because it forms after the candles is formed, right? But it gives you like a sense of how powerful this move is towards which direction. And then directional movement. This guy. Okay, so yeah, the orange line is the sellers, the blue line is the buyers. It's pretty simple. Like, when they cross, it shows it shows you how many buyers and how many sellers there are, right? Like the blue line, there's not too many buyers at all, right? Around here, right, they got excited and some buyers started to pile in. For a second, there was more buyers than sellers, but then that quickly got rejected. Um, and it went really far away from each other. So it would have to have some work for it to go back.
So with the fact that it looks like the sellers are in control, does that mean that would give you like the indication that shorting would be the best?
Uh, when the sellers are in control, yeah, yeah, it would. It would tell you that there's more like there's more work to make it go up than there is for it to go down. Do you know what I mean? It's like there's a lot of sellers there, right, already. Um, and it looks like it's continuing to go down. We're not seeing like a spike up or anything. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Towards it. It just looks like it's going down. You know what I mean? It's like it's not there's no like specific trick to it. Or I don't try to use any specific trick. I don't think about whether the line's gonna cross the line or this line's gonna do that. I just think from what I know and common sense, right, this is what I can see. You know what I mean? And that's how you want to understand it. You want to understand it to your like, you know, to what you know and what you see in front of you. That's what it is. There's no expert trick. Yeah,
So would you make a trade now with only one red line on the MACD, or would you wait to see what the next one is before making a decision?
a short.
Yeah.
So obviously this market is extremely dangerous, so you don't want to be shorting as much as you can or longing as much as you can. You want to wait, be patient for everything for you to. It's like you'll get this feeling. It's like, okay, this is the time, right? Now, this the 7 day is chilling, right? It looks like it's a bullish signal. I'd make a checklist and I'll go through it. 7 day is chilling, it ready to long, right? One day looking like it's gonna short, right? So that's already not correlating. I'll compare it to maybe these two as well. Okay, same thing. We're looking like we're gonna hit 66K, right? Um, I also wouldn't short it because what if we did hit 69K? There's a possibility, and I'd already be liquidated if we did.
Do
So
you look at your MACD on the longer time frame as well, or no?
no, I don't really like it's more of like a confirmation for yourself. It's like confidence boost. You know what I mean?
Right.
When I see that, I'll be like, okay, looking for an entry. I'll look at an hourly, maybe the 15 minute too.
And that's
50,
it. Okay.
oh yeah, it's the hourly and 15 minutes. Just remember that. You switch between them two. They're like you usually one lags and once like this might show you the beginning of that move's happening, and then this will be like, okay, now it's officially switching. So this right now, it's telling me, okay, we're already in a downtrend, right?
Mm.
Definitely pushing down, right? And this tells me, okay, bigger move to down is possibly incoming. So yes, I do think we're gonna possibly hit 66K, maybe for a liquidity sweep even. Um, so yeah. Who knows? If you really wanted to short it for some quick profits, you could do. But I personally wouldn't. I think it's a terrifying move because I'm not certain and I'm not trying to risk my money. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to gamble.
Right, right. Do you because I think I saw something where you can hedge as well on Mexi. Have you ever like is that ever worth doing? Like say if you're not sure,
Hedge.
like if it goes a different way or
What do you mean by hedging?
so like there's a setting on Mexi where you can go into your settings, you can set some like hedge things so that you can do a long and a short at the same time.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. I don't know. I don't really know. If you think there is, then go ahead. But what do you like? So. I've thought about it a lot, like in the past, and I don't know. It's like there's always the risk that the price will just float in between where you're trying to long and short. You
Yeah, yeah,
know,
yeah.
uh, I
Go
I
on.
don't know. I don't think there is any reason really, unless you can think of one, and I'm not against it. But yeah, don't be against like thinking for your own, like trying to come up with your own ideas from this and that. Like that's what I did with this liquidation map. I looked at it myself and I said, what does this tell me? You know what I mean?
Mm.
This tells me that there's money here. There's money here, right? So money's gonna be reactive around this area. And then after that happens, there's either gonna be money around here or there's gonna be money around here. You know what I mean? So I'll wait to see what happens around here, right? This area, right? Then I might make a decision. What if this gets cleared? Because people are like, okay, fuck that. Or what if this becomes like, less and then it looks like it's gonna I mean? Just wait, be patient, be very patient and be ready to make a move. Um Now when you buy in, you want to buy in with like say you have $10, right? Say you have $100, right? You want to buy in with about maybe $5, $10, right? Maybe 100x. Um, but you want to be ready to add to your margin or buy in more, like long more, open more position. The difference between that is that you can add to your position, right, without increasing how much you're longing or shorting, right?
Yeah.
So it just like it's like say you've got $10 times 10, right, on 10x leverage, right? You got $10 on 10x leverage, right, which is 100. And you've added $10, right? So you still got a margin of $100, which is 10 times 10, right? But now you got $20 of that 100. So you're risking $20 instead of $10. So your liquidation price goes up. Does that make sense? It's a bit,
Right. So basically, you're adding more margin to make your liquidation price further away.
yeah, simple terms, that's it. Right? You're not increasing how much you're longing. So you're still,
Right. Okay. So you still got the certain amount of margin there, but what you're adding money on top to move your
yeah.
liquidation.
Yeah, so
Right.
you can be in 150% drawdown and your long position won't close. Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
That's the same thing as cross margin,
Right.
right? obviously you're in control, right? Cross margin is like it just risks as much as it needs from your
Mm,
wallet until you run out.
mm,
But this it's like you know how much you're risking overall. Um, but yeah, if your risk to rewards like eight, like 1 to 8 or something, it might be good to do 2 to 8. You know what I mean? Like it's okay to increase it to risk a bit more. Um, just knowing that your move's still gonna happen. And I'm
yeah.
pretty confident in this liquidation map. Um, I would I would always be like, right, always set your risk to reward to a certain amount, okay? Like keep steady on it. Say your risk to reward is 1 to 8 or 1 to 5, right? And you're willing to increase it to 1 to 2 or 1 to 3. I mean two to sorry guys. Right. If it was 1 to 5 and you're willing to increase it to 2 to 5, so you're willing to risk twice the amount to make 5 times the amount instead. That's still okay. Yeah, I mean, as long as your liquidation price gets shifted to a good amount, maybe like around here. By the way, the way you measure how much you're possibly gonna make is there's a measurement tool here, right? On TradingView. It's like
Mm.
you do it this much, right? And it says 5.61%, right? Now, like you do your how much your overall like say you've got $10 on 10x, right? You do $100 increased by 5.6%. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or if I'm on $100 on 100x, which is uh a
Wow.
grand. Wait, is it?
1,000.
Sorry, what was that?
No, $100 on 10x is 1,000.
Yeah. Bro, I don't. No, I'm in 100x. Oh, so yeah, that's 10K. 100 times 100 is 10K. Um, oh my days. But yeah, that increased by 5.6%, which or 5% we'll say, which is a 10K, that's like $500. Um, which yeah, there you go. You just made $500 on a 5.6% move. Five, you know what I mean? But you're willing to risk $200. You know what I mean? Because you've added to your margin.
Right. Okay then. Right. Yeah. So obviously with that 100, you put another 100 in to move your liquidation price down,
Yeah.
and then you stand to obviously still do the what's it called, the 100x on that
Yeah.
100.
Yeah. And then when it goes down and then goes up, maybe start a liquidity sweep, right?
Yeah.
Or like a flush. You can see that and then you can start to move your liquidity price. Your fucking your break like your stop loss. You can move that. You can take your margin out to reduce your risk.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's getting there. I'm getting used to it.
Yeah. So, right. You see right now how we've just had a retest of this position here, right? We've had a come down and up, right? And it's just bounced. That's basic price action, all right? That's support.
Hmm.
That's created a support line. That's a good sign. You know what I mean? If it continues to break this point here, we could either see a liquidity sweep down to maybe down here. I think probably there's going to be a liquidity sweep and then we're going to continue up. That's what I think. So maybe start to long around um around 662, 661. I think that's a good spot. Yeah. Around here would clear some of this liquidity and then we'll go up. I'm certified about it. Certain. Except this 30-day liquidity, which is definitely bugging me. Um, now I don't know. I think we are ready to move down even lower, just based on this alone. It's crazy how it shifted. But yeah, I think once it clears this, we're gonna be a bit more balanced, ready to move up a bit, and then we'll continue downwards to grab more of this liquidity. I think we might hit 62K this area. Very valid. All right, but what are you guys thinking? So, what would be your worries about entering a position?
Obviously liquidation. Yeah, just if like obviously like you just if, like obviously a trend revert. I mean, I suppose it, the way you set it up. I mean, even if the trend does reverse, you obviously like you set your stop loss quite high in it, so you're not taking a huge hit. Um, so you're keeping that tight. Yeah, I think just I guess just getting the confluence and making sure that you're yeah, you're just making sure that you're getting the right information that it's a good point to enter and the liquidity is there. So
Right, I think definitely start demo trading, and then we'll run a few trades. I just need you guys to be active. Um,
mm, yeah, yeah.
just
Well, yeah, I know I need to because I saw you posting in Telegram. But like yeah, I've just not really like jumped on it like like properly yet. But obviously when I do, I'll when I start following your stuff, I'll be posting in Telegram, saying yeah, like I'm doing it.
so if you're gonna start trading, right? Obviously demo trade, try it out, and then once you
Yeah.
want to try to do about $30, keep risk about $10 each time, and try to turn it into about $100, then withdraw. And then try to do it again whenever you want. I think that's the best way because it stops you from being emotional, trading too much, trading silly, and it always keeps you in profit. Like I've made a lot of money that I've withdrawn, and that's been like my most successful in terms of trading.
Okay.
I'll turn I'll turn $40 into 250 and just uh
Uh-huh.
and $20 into 120 and just spent it 50 another I think it was 16 to 160 and just spent it, and it was like it was better than losing it, you know what I mean, giving it into the markets eventually from a stupid decision. But
Mm.
even me myself, I'm still learning a lot. Like when when it was high, right, when it was at this point here, right, it started to form liquidity really weirdly, right? It was really choppy, right? So you see, how could I show you this? On the one day it's fine, right? Now you see how there's a lot of liquidity upwards, right? But it's like there's not a lot of liquidity here or something like that. That's what it kind of looked like. So it was like there was a lot of liquidity to the downside, but it was choppy, right? There was still this big bit of liquidity to the upside, right? It
Right.
just so that's when that's what you'd want to be looking at whilst you're trading. You want to have three things open. You want to have your trading view, your coin glass, and your Mexi. Like you can open them on your Safari, right? Coin glass, and then no, I have like if you got an iPhone, then just or like you can do it on like Samsungs too. Like just like three tabs open and just swipe between them and constantly check, right? Every like 5-10 minutes. If you ever need to sleep, set and you've got a position open. My best recommendation is to set like a timer every like hour or so. Constantly check your position and then just close it, right? Don't open. Try not to open them when you're like about to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Um, but there's usually a good position at those times, so I'm not against it. I will stay up to make some money. Um, and eventually, you can make literally you can make like hundreds in a day. Yeah, I mean $100 like in a day easily. And then after you start to master this trick, this strategy overall, um, we will look at prop firm trading, and then you can turn it into a consistent source of income
Sounds
without
good.
without risking your own money.
Mm. Okay. Right, yeah. Yeah, sounds good, man. Yeah, I'm just gonna like play with it more. I've not got time tonight, but probably like if I get some time tomorrow, I get back from work and stuff, I'll definitely do more getting onto the like the demo stuff and just yeah, just
Well, I think the most important thing is, right, set it up, right? And then like because I do this in work. I trade in work and I've made hundreds in work. You know what I mean? Just by every 15 minutes or so, I'll just check my phone real quick, right? I see what the chart's saying, right?
mm,
And then I'll leave it for a bit, right? I'll go and check my phone. and then I might, just hold it for a bit. Um, I'll set my stop loss if needed to a certain point, but remember to set your stop loss above liquidity, right? Try to do it.
When you're doing them quick trades, what are you like? You just got them three tabs there, and you just like looking at liquidity, looking at the signals, sorry, the indicators, and then just like
Yeah,
checking the price action.
yeah, literally. I just swipe through the three tabs. I got trading view, then
Okay.
um, client glass, then Maxi. See what profits I'm on. Um, but yeah, to be honest, you can enter a trade, then you can check it on Maxi and liquidation maps if you want. Just
Mm,
and you can just base it off that.
oh,
And then eventually you can close it. You can even set a take profit.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, okay, oh, right. So, is there times when you don't, you just let it run? Like,
Sometimes when I'm active, like when I'm looking at it all the time,
yeah,
I look,
yeah, yeah. When you got that time in it, but if you don't, then it's better to just obviously take profit and obviously
yeah,
just
yeah.
that.
What if something comes up and you've got to do something for like an hour? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Do you set any alerts on TradingView?
Yeah, I set alerts. So I set an alert where it was to go up, or like say you've got a move in mind, right? Say
Yeah. See, that's what I was thinking.
so say right now, right, I'm thinking this is a support zone, right? I want to know if it's gonna break this point. I'm gonna set an alert here, right?
Mm,
Click this plus sign, add alert, and I'm gonna set an alert here, right? Them 2 points. That shows me okay. If it touches lower, right, where this is not a support zone, it's going down, or maybe there's a liquidity sweep. Look, maybe I'm looking for an entry here. If it goes up, um, bullish sign, we're gonna continue up possibly, but at the same time, it's not always confirmed. You know what I mean?
mm.
But yeah, set your alerts. It just shows up on your phone. I'm currently working on an app, right, where it calls you on the phone if it hits a certain price, right, or it hits a certain place on the indicator. Me and the dev and a few other people. I think it's a fucking genius idea, man.
What's the difference though? I mean, than getting a notification.
Say you're asleep, right? No notification's not gonna do nothing, right? But imagine it calls
Mm,
you, it rings
right.
your phone, right? And there's like an automated like voice thing. It says Bitcoin just hit 65K, and then you're like, oh shit, I need to sell. Do you know what I mean?
Mm, mm. But couldn't you like? Right, right. But that's if you've not got a trade in mind in it. Like you're not thinking about anything. You're asleep, blah blah blah, in it. But let's say you were thinking, oh, if it gets to this, then because you would have set up a trade in it, really, if you had an idea it might go to there and you can do something.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Like, but sometimes, like, say it went 60, like a certain price, I didn't want to enter, but I wanted to watch what happened there, so that I could look for an entry.
Oh, okay.
Like that's what happens with me a lot. Like, I don't want to enter, but I want to look for an entry around this price. Um, if I entered, then there's a big chance I can get liquidated straight away.
Mm. But
So
like, would that be say if you did the thing where you added more margin, like
yeah, that's
would that
fine.
not help?
Well, maybe the thing is, you're looking for the best entry possible, anyways. Yeah,
Mm.
you'd rather risk no margin. You know what I mean? Um,
Mm.
you'd rather hit the very top, the very peak, or something like that. Uh, but say I was to do that and then it opened on its own, I was on like double the margin. Either way, you've got to add the margin on your own, anyways. Unless you just do low leverage, it's pretty much the same thing. Low leverage, high margin.
Mm.
Yeah, you'd have to wake up and add the margin yourself. Or and then either way you'd be in minus. Like if it did continue to go up or down, you'd be in a negative. So you're gonna make less money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The thing is, it's not like
Okay, yeah, because right, okay, okay, I'm with you. Because that allows you to be not liquidated, but it allows you to still be in the trade, in it. Is that me or am I wrong?
get the best liquidation price. You know what I mean? By the way, when I say the price, I pretty much use my liquidation price as my stop loss, right? Because I'm on a certain, I use less margin, right? rather than a long-term trade, I'll use a lot less in the account, right? Uh, so I'm willing to risk it all. You know what I mean? Like I've got 100% in my account. I'm willing to risk like 5%. If my stop loss is like my liquidation price, I'm only willing to risk 5% on this one trade to make 15% extra or whatever it is. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, guys. So what else? What else are you thinking? Anything else you guys want to know? Or do you guys want to let it sit? Oh, check this, right? On TradingView. I think it's up here. Banner. Where is it? 1 second. What were we saying? Oh yeah, let me show you guys just how to, where is it? I don't know where it's gone, but there's usually you can add orders. There you go. Paper trading. Connect that and then say right, we're gonna short here. Sell order. We'll do $1,000 on 500 to 1 leverage. Fucking hell. There you go. It's gonna show up soon, I think. There's no trading data. Are you serious? Market. Sell. Let's reload it. Oh, there you go. Minus $14. Did I add it twice though? That's an issue. Unrealized P&L. $80. $100. Do you see what I mean? So, okay, right. I'm not too bullish on this idea right now, but I do think it could just reverse right now. Hit this as a liquidity sweep, and we'll take profits. But definitely could also just pump. So the last trade that we entered, I remembered it went down, right? But then it ended up going back up, didn't it? I was
Yeah,
talking.
I think he said we set the stop loss in the wrong place or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, that was it. And then it ended up it ended up flying. We could have made profits, but yeah, that was also something I, I you know got better at. Try to set it as high as possible. You know what I mean? At the place like say this is where you really want to set it. Say on the 1 day, right? Or on 7 day, you want to set it in the blue part, really. Like the it's like the as past liquidation. Fuck, as past liquidity as possible. Does that make sense? Damn, we're minus $1,000. Count margin. I'm losing him 5K. Imagine this is connected to his real account. That'd be awful. Oh, up 5. Realize, you know. All right. Oh no, minus 1,000. Count margin. Yeah, by the way, I'm just showing you guys how to do this, right? I don't recommend you guys do this. This is 500x leverage. I would never do 500x. I'd do 100x at most. And this is $2,000 in.
But he could close that trade at any point though, innit? And still be in some profit.
No. I'm minus 1,000. Realize P&L is how much he's withdrawn,
All right,
right?
okay.
But realize right now we're minus 1K. So we'll wait and see. I wish we could 2 times this.
All right, man, I'm gonna have to jump off, but like, I just wanted to say thanks for going over everything again, and definitely, I'm gonna look into it either this evening or tomorrow to start doing some of the start doing some of the demo trading and getting a feel for it.
Yeah, 100%. Sounds great, man. All right, yeah, no worries. I need to go anyways.
All right, man. All right,
Right.
thanks for your time, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you for coming to the thing. So yeah, talk to you guys in a bit.
All right, Cryzo. Right, is that the stream done or
Uh,
is Ninja's gone in it? So
oh wait, did the stream end with him gone?
I don't know because he said he's gone to eat in it. So
Oh, who knows? But
Thing
yeah,
again, definitely. I'm gonna look into it either this evening or tomorrow to start doing some of the start doing some of the demo trading and get a feel for it.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, aqua funded and doesn't,
Sounds
and
great, man.
crypto funded doesn't.
Alright, yeah, no worries.
Like,
I need to go
you
anyway.
can read the rule
Alright, man. Alright, thanks for your time, man.
passport. I feel
Yeah, I
like
appreciate you for coming to the
and it's
to the
perfect.
thing.
It's perfect, but I mean,
So yeah, talk to you guys in a bit.
all right, Cryzo. Right, is that the stream done or
Uh,
Ninja? So
oh wait, did the stream end with him gone?
I don't know because he said he's gone to eat in it. So
Oh, uh, but yeah,
no, I've just been listening. I've just been peeping in the background, man. I appreciate you taking over. This was the Cryzo special. 2 hour episode out now on Mycelink YouTube. Ken, you said you were looking for in it.
yeah, I was. We got it, but again, this is a good follow up as well, man. Yeah, appreciate it, man.
Oh my God, is there a lag?
It's better now.
I think so. I think there's a lag.
But yeah, if everybody's done, that was a good session, guys.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. All right, chat to
All
you
right,
guys
cool,
later.
man. All right, thanks, guys. Later.
Peace.